Michael?
He didn't get in.
Chapman, you're an idiot.
You are.
Because that's what
an
they'll
idiot.
We had one horse, and Paddy used to call him the cash machine.
I'm training for the King George at Christmas. I'd see that as his ultimate goal. Unbridled, Season 2, Episode 14. We are back. When I say we, Matt Chapman and Paddy Brennan, in association with our kind sponsors, BoyleSports, with two TV screens that nearly are level, but have a growing gap at the top and an even more worrying gap at the bottom. And this screen is now half an inch forward of that screen. But other than that, everything is as it always is, isn't it, Patrick?
Everything is good.
Lots of people won't know. We spent the day together yesterday. Don't think any more of it than that, really. It wasn't the start of a blossoming partnership, I don't think. But I did quite enjoy it. We had drama. We had delayed racing because sadly a horse got injured. It was quite chilly at Newbury.
Yeah.
But it was good fun. And you know what's weird is all the people that have over the years said you're absolutely mad, insane, you don't want to go near Paddy Brennan, they sort of come out of the woodwork at the races and they love you. They really want to chat to you.
I don't know about that, Matt. I'm not sure if everybody loves me, but it's great being at Newbury yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. I tell you what, Matt, it's the first time when I stand and actually look at every horse go around the parade ring, and I found that really interesting. Something I've never done. Seen lots of people. Couldn't believe how many people wanted selfies with you, Matt Chapman. I was left standing in the cold while you were getting selfies, but no, I enjoyed it.
This time last week, we spoke to Paul Nicholls.
Yeah.
The next day, you had a 999 to 1 in running that got up right on the line.
I did. I loved that, Matt. I was honestly watching it. I couldn't make it that day. I was watching it from home, and Freddie Keatley, I got to speak to him. I said, look, just hit the line, ride him to come home. And, through the race, man, I turned in, I'm looking at this horse thinking, is he even going to finish third?
Yeah.
And it
was actually like watching you in that race where you didn't want to be in the first three.
But when you own syndicate horses, Matt, you get attached to them. And we seen Giants Grave yesterday. We hope he's okay for Noel Feely and David Cross and all their members. But you do get attached to him. And I believe in a King of Magic, always have done. But when he's down in ditch heat, you don't always get to see him, and you're not sure what to expect. But my belief was always in the horse, and it was lovely to see what he could do with Taunton over 2 miles. We'd like to think he's a 3 mile plus horse one day, Matt, and he's only 5, so members were delighted. They had to be patient. It cost a few quid, so we're all very happy.
Competition time for your chance to win an Unbridled travel mug. Comment your Cheltenham Festival Lucky 15s in the YouTube comments below, and we will choose which one is the best next week. And we've also got, don't forget, new BoyleSports offer for Cheltenham. Bet £10, get £40 in free bets, and bank your builder jackpot. Plus, up to £60 in free bets.
That's quite good.
It's complicated. But just to repeat, new BoyleSports offer for Cheltenham, £10, get £40 in free bets, and you bank your builder jackpot, plus up to £60 in free bets. Basically, better way, and you're going to get big bonuses. Shall we go back to the weekend?
Yeah.
It seems, I don't know why, but it just seems a really long time ago. But it wasn't that a very weak Reynoldsdown chase went to the Jukebox Kid after Thomas Moore was withdrawn. First of all, let's just talk about the Jukebox Kid. I think this was a poor Reynoldsdown. Even Connections said that. But this horse is progressive. He could be a nice Welsh national horse, something like that one day.
I think Ben mentioned the Irish national, didn't he?
Yeah, because to be honest, stupid thing I've just said straight away, which won't surprise anyone, because I think he wants him to go right-handed at the moment.
Oh, does he?
And that's the reason. Okay. Rather than go to Cheltenham. He also talked about this is a horse that takes a lot of getting over his races.
Right.
When a trainer says that, Paddy, what do they actually mean? Like, what would the Jukebox be doing that shows Ben that he needs more time between races?
Giving 110%, Matt. And some horses, they're giving it, they're trying so hard. Look, they're the horses you want, of course they are. You want horses that are trying. Some horses are a little bit smaller, it's a little bit easier for them, but the Jukebox Kid every day turns up, he's giving it 100%, and yeah, look, good performance. He had to go and win. There was no more he could do. It was very good.
I really like this horse. He had form with Montregard, who hacked up in the handicap later in the day. I like this horse. You know what? He's a tiny horse. He's got no scope, really. But what he does is he's pinpoint accuracy jumping, and he looks like he loves it, Paddy.
Some trainers also are suited by tracks. Ben Pauling seems to do extremely well at Ascot. I don't know if it's the way his gallops are, but and obviously you need a nice horse, don't get me wrong, but I think he had 2 or 3 winners on the day. Jukebox Kid was very good.
I wanted to talk to you particularly about the start of the Reynoldstown. As they lined up, they were about, I would say, 100 metres yards from the start. When they jumped off, they were probably about 75 metres from the start. We talk about weights and pounds. We did it at Newbury yesterday. He's better off by a pound. He's worse off by a pound. If you're starting nearly 100 metres from the start, what's the point in any analysis about pounds and lengths and all that kind of stuff when you're not actually starting at the point of the start? Someone messaged me about this not so long ago. I have no idea who it was. And they said to me, what's the point of the tape? And the more I watch our jumps racing, the more I have no idea what's the point of the tape across the track. What's the point of the starter? Hardly. Why you've ridden in races where you will have done this. Why don't jockeys start the race anywhere near the start?
Well, the majority of the time they do, Matt. But look,
they don't.
They do.
They don't.
Like when you're starting let's just move on to something like a Grand National. Now, the starter, you're saying he's not needed. He is needed. There's lots of people needed down at the start. But you're going to sometimes have a walk, and the starter's screaming for everyone to walk. He can pull that trigger to let that rope go at any time when you're a long way back, because he's got everyone in order, everyone's walking, go. Now, for the race at Ascot, there's a bit of the jockeys there as well. If you're a jockey and you're thinking, I don't want this tape to go, there's a bit of communication needed. Look, I don't fully know what went on. Maybe no one wanted to make it. Maybe there's a pause, but I don't know the answer to your question about that particular race at Ascot.
Why doesn't one jockey just walk a bit quicker towards the start?
Well, no, Matt, what a real jockey could do sometimes is get 20 lengths out the gate.
Well, but the thing is, the whole design of starts now is to stop people doing that. They don't want what Peter Scudamore used to do in the 80s and 90s, which was nick 20 lengths at the start on a pipe horse who was then a hurdle clear by about the third hurdle and had the race in the bag. For all that, I actually think that is absolutely brilliant, and Scudamore and Pipe deserved every single one of those successes, and anyone who did it now deserves that success. For me, look, we don't give money back most of the time to horses that don't start. Why don't we do that? Well, the main reason is because starting the race is part of the race.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it's part of the race. And if a jockey shows initiative and can nick 10, 15, 20, 1,000 lengths at the start, then I have no real idea why they shouldn't be allowed to do that. It's just initiative.
But maybe Matt, that is the point here. Starters getting relaxed, and maybe something like that is going to happen very soon for them to have a look and think, right, we can't be doing that again. We can't be letting them off 50 yards or 100 yards back there. So maybe that's not happening. But like you said, there's an opportunity there for a jockey to be thinking, they could let the flag down. I'm going to go.
I just think in an age where we are beginning in the world of horse racing to become quite data orientated now, Race IQ has pushed that forward. I still am not absolutely sure what it tells you that your eyes don't tell you, but it gives you some facts to back up what your eyes are telling you. I completely understand that. The long stride and short stride thing, I'm not convinced by at all on a literal basis, that just because a horse has a long stride, it's going to be able to run faster. That's no logic to that, because not all tall athletes beat small athletes in a running race, so the long stride thing can't be physically true, I don't think, can it? I don't think just because you have a long stride, you run faster.
Yeah, sometimes it helps, Matt. It's different. You have a point, but yeah, look, if you have a big stride and the one beside you's got a short stride, obviously it's a bit easier, but it's not.
Yeah, if you've got a long stride and you tire, but you've got a short stride and you don't tire, you're going to keep going quicker, aren't you? Anyway, that aside, coming back to the data, we are beginning to become quite good at having data, but there's not much point in having it if the race never starts in the right place. All of it becomes redundant. That's how I look at it. It's just like, I don't understand. The Reynoldstown start annoyed me. Not that anyone individually did anything different. It was just why aren't you starting close
Yeah,
to the line? Should we talk about the Jonbon Victory matchup in the Ascot chase? So many positives here, I thought.
Yeah.
First, good horse race. Just at a very basic level, it was a good horse race.
I think we got what we wanted, Matt. The tactics were pretty much what I thought was going to happen. Nico probably hard him at times. I thought he was brilliant. Matt. Every jump, he had to ride Jonbon. He had to make decisions. Yes, no, green, red, amber. We speak about that. Matt, I got stripped yesterday from Jonbon's groom. Oh, he stripped me down, Matt. He said, how could anyone knock Jonbon? I said, I don't know. He said, I said, I'm sorry. I said, I'm sorry. Matt, he stripped me down. Look, in this job, when we're sat here and we're speaking into this from a microphone, we say things. And people are always allowed to be defensive. But Jonbon's groom absolutely tore me down yesterday, and I have full respect for it. And, Matt, Jonbon, I've been against him. I've said he'd get beat. But I took my hat off to what he achieved on Saturday. I thought it was brilliant.
Can you just check your pulse and heart and things like that quickly? Just have a quick feel it's all working. Just what did you say about Nikolai?
He was good. No, man, he had to ride him every fence. That Jonbon was one mistake. That's all it took for him to get beat. One. He didn't make any. You watch him going down to the fence, his last 3 strides, Matt. It's not the nicest feeling on a horse. I talk about a horse I used to ride that were so assured. You could literally close your eyes, bang, you knew what they were going to do. But that Jonbon, he'd shift left, right, and he'd pop, or he could let fly. He said he was very much alive under you. And Nico was on the money every fence, man. On the money.
I've never really heard a jockey come out and say I was so nervous before that race. I've never heard one. But Nico would not have been human if you think of the backstory to that ride. Yeah. Firstly, Harry Cobden's taking over on all these horses. So I don't care what anyone says. In the back of your mind, you're a bit by the situation. You are. You're never going to say it publicly, but you are.
Before you finish, taking over on Jonbon is the worst thing any jockey can ever do, but keep going.
James Bowen had just won the Grade 1 on him. And then Nico's just had really bad injuries. And yet, I went up to do an interview with him before racing and got the message, as he told us, well, as we told everyone actually on this show when he was on here a couple of weeks ago, that he has a sleep before big races. He was fast asleep in the weighing room. Now, Johnny Burke said to me, I'll go and wake him up. And he was giggling. He said, please let me go and wake him up.
Yeah.
I said, absolutely no chance. Yeah. I said, I don't want the interview. If he's sleeping and that's his warm-up for the big race, there's no way I want to do an interview with him before the race. They would have woken him up, but no chance. And I just thought that to have, he must have been a bit nervous about Jonbon, but nerves of steel. Whatever you say about Nico, whatever goes on inside him, you'd have no idea. I think this is the problem for Nico, is that a lot of people just don't understand him. They just don't get Nico.
No, but look,
this is jockeys, yeah? Nico de Boinville, I suspect you don't think is particularly a hard man, but underneath it all, he is.
Matt, look,
emotionally, if nothing else.
You never get to know a lot of jockeys, Matt, in there. You go in and you work, you get your strips off, you tighten each other up, you have arguments, but that's in the weigh room. When you walk out of there, you see totally different characters. You go on about Nico, must have feeling it. Of course you feel it, Matt. People are like, oh, I don't feel pressure. Yes, you do. Of course you feel pressure. Pressure is to minimise mistakes. There's always pressure, Matt. And if you're not under pressure, you're doing something wrong. You see people going tennis, Andy Murray springs to mind, staying at the top of your game for that long. Tony McKay. They didn't do that with no pressure, Matt. Nico de Boinville rocked up on Saturday. 2 ways of feeling. I ain't going to ride Jonbon again. Today I've got the chance to win a Grade 1. No, it was brilliant riding. It was brilliant. Brilliant training performance.
I think he's won 6 or 7 at least Grade 1s on Jonbon. If you train Jonbon, what do you do for the rest of this year?
Well, you don't go to Cheltenham, I don't think. I don't picture it. You probably go to Aintree. But Matt, Jonbon has given his heart and soul, and maybe there'll be a day when he doesn't finish second or third, and I can't see he's I'm not the owner or stuff, but I can't see he'd be a horse that would go into long and old age. I think he's given so much. Incredible horse.
I do the Ryanair because I'm still not convinced that he doesn't work perfectly at Cheltenham. I just think ultimately, despite the form figures, he's been running over the wrong trip for most of his life, and that will be for a reason, I think. But probably owner orientated rather than trainer orientated. But I suspect he's been over the wrong trip, and that's why he's made those mistakes in champion chases, because he's trying to go faster than he's really naturally able to. So I'd run him in the Ryanair, I'd run him at Aintree, I'd run him in the celebration chase at Sandown, because it's going to be basically probably him and Il Est Francais. But it could just be him, and even though it's 2 miles, I suspect he'd be too good anyway. I'd run him in those three, and I'd trade him for the King George at Christmas, and that I'd see that as his ultimate goal. I
wouldn't want you training me, Matt. Give him a chance. What? He's won 2 Grade 1s this side of Christmas, and you want to run him 3 more times. He's had a hard time. I think it'll be Cheltenham or Aintree, and look, maybe Sandown. But you saying he's going to do all 3? Can't see that, Matt.
What is he called?
A Jonbon.
No, he's called a racehorse.
Yeah, I know.
No point just sitting at home, is there?
No, but
it's a 10.
When you're giving it, we just talked about the jukebox kid giving it 110%. You can't.
Well, of course you can.
But Matt, to make a good race, you need 2 horses or more. Pick Dory did nothing wrong. As good a ride I've ever seen Harry Cobden. You talk about Nico de Bonneville. I was very impressed, but I was just as impressed with Nico de Bonneville. He was doing everything he could. He turned in. He got out. He could see him coming in his outer mat. He was doing everything he could to try and win. And he went down fighting. He's earned over £1 million in prize money. Matt, don't take that for granted. Incredible horse.
Incredible. In the first 2 all his life, so many Grade 1s. Everyone will remember when he was bought, everyone thought JP had gone mad because he spent,
No, I was on about Pick Dory, sorry.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But actually, we'll probably Pick Dory cost a fortune, I think, as well. But when Jonbon, when he was bought, cost a fortune, everyone was saying, you're crazy. What was it, 500,000-600,000, something like that? He's well doubled that.
But when you see who rode him in his point-to-point, Derek O'Connor, he would be, in the JP link. I'd say JP was told, you need to buy this horse. And when you've got someone like Derek O'Connor on board, when he speaks, Matt, you listen.
This time last week, Paul Nicholls told us Cabral de Mata would not run at Haydock on the Saturday.
I think his mind games came in there, Matt.
Yeah. Went to Chepstow. Dan Skelton told us Cabral de Mata might not run at Haydock, mainly because the ground was going to be bottomless. It was bottomless on the morning. He was taken out. By the second race, it was nearly fast. Were you happy with the ground descriptions at Haydock last Saturday?
Matt, there's so much going on with inspections. Like, you're only thinking it's going to be really hard work, soft, heavy. But when you got up there and I watched the first race, I thought they've got this totally wrong. I thought there's no way this is heavy. When you're watching them come up the straight, whatever mile an hour it was, or speed, they've had a bit of a mare there, Matt. And it's crucial, not just for trainers and jockeys, but for punters, especially. When you're thinking you're backing horses that want heavy ground and they're running on good to soft. Not ideal, Matt. And, for Dan and Harry Skelton, that could have been one that got left behind.
Mind you, in Ireland, you can run on an artificial surface for half the race and still get it, so it doesn't really matter about ground description, does it?
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. It's an absolute disgrace. Hold on. Stay with me.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
Oh,
this
God,
could be the moment.
Good.
This could be the moment, everyone. Tom George.
Are you there, Matt? Yeah, I'm here.
You're live on the Unbridled podcast with Paddy Brennan.
Oh, dearie me.
Tom, we've been waiting for this moment for a very long time.
I'm aware of that.
6,000 missed calls along the way. This is your moment to tell all about Patrick Brennan, who, of course, has ridden you some very good winners over the years, but sounds like he was an absolute nightmare with it along the way.
Well, they called him the boomerangs. He kept on coming back. We did everything we could to get rid of him quite a few times, but he just did keep on coming back. Fair play to him.
I mean, in general terms, didn't he like riding, but also he wanted to train them as well?
I did train him.
You what?
I did.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
He liked to do everything. He liked to train them, ride them, place them. You like that. Then he also got quite involved with going over to France at one stage as well.
Yeah, we went every week, actually.
Tell us more.
Well, we had one horse, and Paddy used to call him the cash machine. He said, put him on the ferry. We know we'll be getting some cash back from that one.
Was he right, though?
He was right, actually.
Oh,
Who was this?
The first time he rode him round Auteuil, the French jockeys thought, God, what's this lunatic doing? He's going far too fast.
yeah.
And they gave him a 2-hurdle head start, and he won by a hurdle.
That's right. I can't remember his name, but yeah, that was
Door.
different. Yeah.
That was it, yeah. But Tom, was it enjoyable, or was it always just a nightmare?
No, it was good fun. We had a lot of good days together. No, we did have a good time.
What did you ride? Were you in the Knackerat? Were you on Knackerat?
I rode Knackerat. I missed actually two of his racing post chases, but I managed to get on for one. We had a horse called Module, God's Own. There were some good horses.
Oh, Module, yeah.
He was third in the champion chase, I think. God's Own, the World's End. I won a maiden hurl on him. Some good horses.
What was Tom George like to ride for, though?
Tom George, I'll tell you what I learned from Tom George. Tom George, I learned plenty.
Yeah, that's the bit we want to know about.
But the first bit was how he'd get a horse to love jumping, Matt. His horses used to love jumping, and every Wednesday we might go to Leicester. Tom would enjoy a beef bap. I would enjoy riding winners. And these horses they were big fences. There used to be a ditch on the side. I'm not sure if you remember at Leicester, but it was like a house with windows on the second floor. And Tom's horses, one thing they could do was jump. You always needed to ride one of Tom's because you could have a couple of falls, and then you could ride one of Tom's, and you're guaranteed to have a good spin off it.
That doesn't sound bad, Tom.
That's good. It's good. It's obviously rubbed off on Noel in France, so they all say his horses are the best jumpers, so that's good.
You had about 245 winners together, which is a fairly... I mean, can you remember the first time you clapped eyes on Patrick Brennan?
Well, I remember Jason Maguire was riding for me at the time. And Paddy is a young conditional from Philip Hobbs used to come up, and Jason sent him on his way, so we didn't see him for a year or two after that.
Well, no, that went wrong on the 21st with Jason, Tom. I rocked up to Henry Oliver 21st, got dressed up, nice white shirt, all anyway, Jason Maguire looked at me, he said, "Where have you been?" I thought, where have I been? Anyway, I think he got... Anyway, I woke up in the morning with both of my eyebrows shaved off and my clothes were thrown out the top window, Tom. So I thought it was best leave your job and Jason together. It didn't happen. That was the reason, yeah.
But basically you tried to steal Jason Maguire's job, yeah?
No, I tried to come and work with Jason.
No, you didn't. You were trying to get rid of him.
Well...
There were only 12 horses at the time, mate.
I know. Tom, there was one ride you questioned, and it actually came up on a replay the other day. It was a Loffy in the Betfair Hurl. I need to go back to you a bit on that because I watched the replay. You were not happy. You said sit 5th or 6th. Well, I didn't. I said maybe 5th or 6th last. But I watched that race, Tom. I didn't get round to watching it after that race, and you weren't that happy. But I have to pick...
Well, the whole day was a disaster.
I have to pick...
Shush, let him speak.
Well, no, let me finish. I have to call you out on this, Tom. I've watched the replay. I didn't get around to watching it 10 or however many years ago it was, but I think I was harshly treated. Go on.
Yeah, so it was the day, was it the Betfair Hurl? Yeah, so I was caught in a traffic jam for about 2 hours outside Newbury.
Yeah, that was your fault.
So I arrived there, and the horse was in the paddock. I can't remember if it didn't have the boots on or didn't have the something.
No, we couldn't.
Something was wrong.
We couldn't get the tongue tie on, Tom. That was your fault.
The tongue tie, that was it. The tongue tie, something was wrong. I wasn't there, so I hadn't got proper instructions through to you, which you needed, just close to the occasion in case you forget them or something will change them. So... anyway, the race didn't go according to plan. Dropped him out the back, and he should have been in the first 3 or 4. And the biggest learning curve of the whole lot was Noel George then went into the weigh room to get the colour bag. He said the saddle came at him like a frisbee. Is that true or not?
Well, yeah, it is, because you gave me a bollock and you weren't happy. I was fuming. Like, you got stuck in traffic, right, which was your fault, because you probably, you were late, which was not, well, it was regular. But you tore into me that day, and anyway, it was a fair horse that Loffy. We went on and won a great one. But that took me 10 or 12 years to watch the replay, Tom, but I must admit, I watched it the other day and I thought, Didn't do a lot wrong.
The thing is, Tom, you can only hear the words at the moment, but if you actually ever watch this back and see his face, you'll realise how angry he still is.
Okay.
You were a bit more mouthy, Tom, when you last spoke to me about how Patrick liked to train the horses.
No, he was good. He was actually, Paddy's one of his big things was he was a great man at actually saying, picking a race out a year down the line, say, right, you go for that and you'll win it. And quite often we did. He was good at finding the right races for them. He was.
While you're on, thank you for calling back. Is the mighty Il Est Francais still in your yard, or has he gone back to France?
Yeah, he's in my yard. He's just had a wind operation and he's now back in full work. And we're just stepping everything up again with him now. He's in good shape.
Well, that obviously is news and it's interesting. That's not his first wind operation, though, is it? I mean, that's another wind operation, isn't it?
It's his first wind operation.
Is it? Okay, I thought he'd had...
Yeah, so he's always made a very slight noise, but obviously it hasn't affected him. Anyway, we sent him up to Ben Brains. I was holding back from doing the overland scope. I'm not a great fan of it, but anyway... we did do that, and there were a few bits and pieces weren't right, so we've putting them right. Let's just hope that this sorts the problem out, because there's obviously something stopping him in his races at present.
I mean, that's fascinating from the point of view that he hasn't had one at all before, and if this actually does solve whatever his issue is, he could be immediately back. Does that mean you've got in any way Cheltenham in your mind, or does it mean you just look for a little race for him somewhere?
I haven't made any plans as yet. I mean, what's so interesting about this, very few of the horses over in France do have wind ops. It just doesn't happen over there because it's just a different style of racing, and they're just training them in a different way. So whether this has got progressively worse, I don't know, but we'll just keep on building him up again. And I suppose a race which is in the back of my mind is the Topham at Aintree. I think he'd like that, big weight. Well, against lesser horses, I think you'd enjoy it around there.
Over the Grand National Fences. Paddy, I mean, you usually used to training Tom's horses. Are you happy with the Topham?
Yeah, it's a good shout. He'd be a good spin. I don't know, I'd be lucky jockey getting to ride him, but that's a good shout. Well, class horse in that race.
It'd be a good spin at least to halfway at the moment.
Yeah.
But if the wind operation works, he might be a good spin all the way to the end.
Absolutely. Hey, Tom, I tell you what, you've cheered my morning up. Bit flat this morning, I'm not going to lie. Bit come to work, You've made my morning, Tom.
Good.
And Tom, it was the call we never thought we'd get.
Yeah,
so
we never thought we'd get.
No, because we thought you'd be shooting today, or at least out in the countryside.
No, the season's finished now, so you're okay.
Thanks very much for calling. Good luck with it, eh?
Thank you.
Speak soon, bye.
Cheers, Tom.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was a turn up for the books, wasn't it? It was
good.
quite fun. Just going quickly back to Haydock, Dalston Lab was impressive.
Yeah.
Ludor won the Rendlesham.
Ludor, good ride. Gavin Sheehan. Yeah, won well. Tom Simmons.
There was an element in some ways of all those races, though, that they were a little bit weak for the types of races.
Possibly. Time of year as well, Matt. But and again, the ground, there's a lot of people going to be staying away from there. So look, it was someone else's gain, and yeah, it's good for Tom Simmons. Yeah,
just with Dalston Lad, he's a possible for the Albert Bartlett, I suppose. Dalston Lad's been boosted for that race to 33-1 from 20s by our associates at BoyleSports. So if you do fancy Dalston Lad, you are getting a significant boost there. 33-1 from 20-1 Dalston Lad. He's a consistent soul.
Matt, the Albert Bartlett's a race to control results. He's not out of it. He stays well, jumps well. He'd be a hell of a ride. I'm not sure if Harry will be able to ride him, but it'd be Tristan Durrell, or is that his name? Tristan or Tristan? Or
Tristan.
Yeah.
Megan's boy.
When you were a jockey, Matt, see them kind of rides coming along. Oh, you'd be just dreaming and hoping you'd get the ride on a horse like him.
And possibly Alexi in the Champion Hurdle, because he's going to travel well for a lot of it. He won at Wincanton over the weekend. Do you give him any sort of hope of hitting the frame in the Champion Hurdle, having sort of relatively scraped home from Rubo?
Well, look, he's the opposite to the horse of Paul Nichols, is the one, the Betfair Hurl. You pronounce that better than me. That wants heavy ground. The Tizard horse wants good ground. That would bring him possibly into a place. Got a very
Quanti,
got a very good ride from Brendan Powell, Matt. It was everywhere. He was just perfection. Had a good look at the last, pulled it out. He needs to improve, but in a champion hurl that a lot boils down to Friday night where Constitution Hill's going to go. It's wide open.
Let's talk about the Grand National weights. Iron Maximus, given official rating of 168. Remember, Grand National weights, they're not the great announcement that they used to be 20 years ago.
Why is that, Matt?
Because 20 years ago, Phil Smith would adjust the weights. There was an entry factor because of the big fences. Now you've got little fences, and more often than not, you're just revealing
the obvious,
the official markings of the horses. Now, don't get me wrong. If you've won the Grand National, you're still likely to get a pound or two more. But in general terms,
you kind of know what's coming.
You know what their official marks are, and that's what they get. But Iron Maximus 168. He's got top weight. He won it under 11 stone 6 in 2024. Had to carry 11 stone 12 when finishing second last season, and topped the handicap on 11 stone 12 again when the weights were unveiled yesterday, wasn't it? Tuesday.
Yeah.
We record this, as we always tell you, at 11 o'clock. On Wednesday morning, which is really important to get out there, particularly actually if you're trying to get hold of me to put nonsense out about me, then just remember I record this on a Wednesday morning. I won't be able to take your call. Give us two from the field that I've got two. Have you got two?
You go ahead with your two.
Well, I do think Iron Maximus will be banging the mix again. So he'd be one of them. Very obvious. And I think Mr. Van Gogh. Now, obviously, Mr. Van Gogh, who's going to be carrying just over 10 stone, he's due to run, I think, this weekend. Obviously, with him, you'd want a Red Marauder Grand National, ideally. You'd want it absolutely bottomless. So whether you want to back him anti-post, I don't know. But you'd want to have a very careful look on the weather. Because I genuinely believe that Mr. Van Gogh could go off favourite for this race if it was heavy. If it was heavy, of a low mark.
Heavy is... It is...
I think you'd need it.
It's a long shot, though,
yeah, but I'm just saying, I think, you probably won't go off favourite. But if it was a really wet Grand National, it has been quite wet so far this year. It's not that far away. It might all dry up. It might be a good to soft ground Grand National, in which case I wouldn't fancy Mr. Van Gogh. Although he didn't run badly against Twig. And it wasn't bottomless ground there in the beach. I was there that day. He ran really well, actually. He ran right to the line. Brave. Jack Tudor was furious he got beat. Who would you fancy?
Well, Matt, look, the Grand National, when you look, I think 11 or 12 of the top 34, Willie Mullins, I was very interested to listen to what Patrick Mullins had to say. And the horse he picked out, and when you look through it, Champ Kiley was a very interesting horse.
Hold on a sec. Michael?
He didn't get in.
I just to let you know, we're on the podcast right now, Michael, so you might not want to say anything more publicly, or you might. He is in, Michael.
That's not on the podcast.
No, he is in.
I was just winding you up.
Oh, I can hear a little monkey.
Oh, the worst thing about that is you think I wouldn't know.
Well, I know I know it's all a matter of luck, really, as far as...
It is for me. It is literally life and death.
Michael, that could have been the end of the show there if you were telling the truth. Honestly, he'd have walked out.
Is that Mr. Brennan?
Yes.
That is, yeah.
Ah.
Michael, still looking forward to our meeting in the Devonshire. I haven't got around to it yet. I'd love to meet you for a drink there.
I've never been to the Devonshire.
It's good Guinness. I want to meet you there.
Apparently, it's a great place for Sunday lunch.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do it sometime.
I'd look forward to that.
You are I'm still... My heart is still...
Yeah. All right there, Matt.
I'm like, you are such a wrong 'un, Michael Buckley, honestly. Oh, you are such a bad boy.
I've had enough of... I've had years and years and years of trying to steer you the right way, Chapman, and it's, as Mr. Brennan will tell you, it's a waste of time.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes, it is.
I mean... You've stitched yourself up now. You know we record this on a Wednesday morning. I've got to just ask you, though, are you actually just looking forward to him, whatever the race is, who cares whether it's a 50-yard donkey race or it's a flat race or it's a hurdle race, are you actually just pleased to be able to see your boy run in a race on Friday?
I'm always happy to see that horse. He's really special, I think, and then he's certainly special to me. Anyway, let's not go there. I'll see you both up in
If you can get down to the pub with a film crew, I'm expecting you up at Southall.
No chance.
Apparently a great place for a night out.
Yeah. Do we know what draw he's got yet?
I've no idea.
No, that will be out very
I
shortly.
hope it's not 1 or 2.
Yeah, we're recording it today. We should just let everyone know because we're recording basically bang on declaration time, so we don't actually have that information.
It wouldn't be out yet.
I think he's in 11. I'm told.
No, draws at.
Oh, draws after 11. Sorry. Yeah, no, he's not in 11. Anyway, the thing to remember with the draw is if you're out wide, Nicky was getting worried about 14 of 14, but with a horse who hasn't raced in Kitbat before, I'd be quite happy if you were out wide, so don't worry about the draw, Michael Buckley.
I'm not worried about it. I hope it's number 8 as it's my lucky number. Well, I believe it's my lucky number.
Okay. Well,
But the good news is I'm the Chinese sign of the horse, and the fire horse year has just begun. So it's all going to go unbelievably well.
Let's do this, Buckers. Let's do this. Let's bring the big boy back.
Yeah. Paddy?
Yes, Michael.
Can you put in for a transfer and take over Chapman's role in life? Because I'm very worried he's going to have a cardiac arrest on television.
Well, you just nearly gave him one, so yeah, I'm ready to step in.
Well, I thought it would be better on the radio than in front of all the viewers.
Yeah, brilliant.
Quietly right there.
You have a horrible, horrible sense of humour, Buckley, and I'll be having words with you later. Have a good day and good luck on Friday.
Best of luck, Michael. Best of luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, people will say, what a horrible thing to do.
That was brilliant. I couldn't believe when you were answering the phone, I knew it must be someone important.
People will say, why didn't you ask him about the champion hurdle? But absolutely pointless. Like, he would have just stummed up and it would have ruined the conversation.
It's great for him, though, that he got in, isn't it? You can hear it in his voice. He's looking forward to it, so.
I was well informed that last night by someone that they had done the maths on who was running and they knew he was in. So, yeah, but it's important for everyone that he's in. Right, let's just wrap this section up. I think to be honest, my heart is pounding.
I can tell.
I need to just take a minute, maybe have another coffee.
Down.
Shall we have another coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll start again.
And you can pay.
Special guest time, Paddy?
Yeah.
We couldn't do Dan or Harry Skelton again.
No.
Even though you would like them on every week.
Right.
So we thought we'd get the young protege. Because Nichols, of course, he was on last week. He's produced Dan Skelton, Sam Thomas, Harry Derham, Harry Fry,
Christian
Williams, the old grizzly bear.
Yeah.
But of all that lot, Harry Derham would be the young up-and-coming whippersnapper, wouldn't he?
Looks that way.
Been training 4 seasons, started off with 14 winners. His best season last year, 57. He's up to 44 this time, so he's going to beat his best score, isn't he?
That's good going now.
Very disappointed if he doesn't get another 13 by the end of the year. Things are going well. Should we speak to him?
Yes, do that.
Good morning. Welcome to Unbridled, Harry Derham.
Morning, gents.
Morning, Harry. Morning, Harry. Yeah, good to have you on.
Because genuinely, obviously, we get a lot of what could be described as messages. But Harry Derham, genuinely, you seem to have quite enjoyed the show since it started.
Yeah, no, that I've said it to you a few times at the races, and I mean it. I'm anything like this, I'm always watching. So yeah, I've enjoyed the show very much.
As Paddy says, you actually did really well. You Cheltenham Festival winner Salubrious in the Martin Pipe Conditional. You won a Lanzarote. You won a Greatwood Hurdle. Those are big handicaps. Just finally on this part of the chat, Salubrious wins the Martin Pipe Conditional at Cheltenham Festival. Just give us an idea of what that meant to you that day.
Well, that was really poignant because a week before that, Clifford Baker, Paul's head lad, great friend, lost his son. So in Ditchit at that time, things were, they were very low. It was a desperate time. And look, very clearly, a winner at a race meeting after something like that happening is totally irrelevant. But Paul had a pretty slow week. Silvernack Conti fell 3 out, travelling well in the Gold Cup. And I remember hugging Clifford after that race. And I say that, look, as I say, winning a race after something like that sort of pales into insignificance. But I just remember Clifford hugging me and saying that meant a lot. And that was it was a great thrill to ride that winner. Obviously, from a selfish perspective, to ride a Cheltenham Festival winner is a cool thing to say you've done. But that day meant an awful lot to a lot of people that were going through a pretty dark time.
And Harry, his name was Dominic, wasn't it?
Dominic, yeah.
Yeah. Was, I remember that.
There's always stuff going on that not everyone knows about behind the scenes. Can I ask you, Harry, just before we get on to the training quickly, the family tree, like not all our listeners will know exactly how you fit into the mix relation-wise. You're related to Meghan. It said, what is the mixture in you?
So my mum, Julie, is Paul's sister. Sorry.
Beautiful woman, beautiful woman, Julie. Beautiful.
Oh man, yeah.
No, Julie's beautiful.
Thank you, Paddy. She'll watch this. She'll be absolutely thrilled with that.
She is.
And so Paul's obviously my uncle. Meghan is my cousin. But when I was at Paul's, Paul was my uncle. But the only time that we sort of remembered he was my uncle and I was his nephew was probably Christmas Day when we had lunch together. The rest of the time, he was my boss.
Yeah.
I was his assistant, or at one stage his jockey, and I had a very, very good time. I was down there 11 years. I always say I didn't go to university, but you look at the guys that came through that place. I went to, I think, the best racing university in England, and had a brilliant time down there. But he's my uncle. Granddad, he started off. He taught us all to ride, and went from there.
And training appears to be going pretty well, I would have thought. I'd have thought you'd be happy. Now, no trainer's ever happy, young trainer, because they always want more winners, more big winners. You can never have enough, effectively. And obviously you sort of live around, I guess, with the fact that Dan Skelton's come from Nichols. He's right up there at the top of the game. Could easily be champion trainer this time around. How much pressure do you feel, having sort of come from the same sort of institution as Dan, that you should be matching him? And how realistic is that?
Oh, I think anyone in the country trying to be matching Dan is unrealistic at the moment. I mean, what he's doing is absolutely incredible, and I've got nothing but respect for him. He's a good mate of mine, known him for a long time. But I'm not trying to, would I like to be at the level Dan is? Yeah, of course I would. Is that my target? Yeah, absolutely it is. But I'm not giving myself a hard time that I'm not there currently. I've this is my third full season training. You're right in the sense that being a trainer, you have a constant desire to do better. I reached my target of winners for the 1st of January and was a little bit past that, and you don't feel a sense of satisfaction. You feel, right, where's the next one? I wanted to try and have a graded winner this year. We've done that, but then once you've done that, you want to have another one. And so training is a sort of relentless thing that you want to constantly be doing better. But I do also have a quiet moment every now and again to think, I'm going all right. And I think I'm 13th in the trainers table at the moment, which I think is good. And I appreciate the fact that I've done all right for starting out, but I'm very much feel like at the moment I'm in the stage of trying to establish my career, and I want to become one of the top trainers in national hunt racing, and that's not going to happen overnight. And I do remind myself that Dan and Ben and Ollie and all those guys that are doing so well at the moment are a good way ahead of me in their careers, and but I think unless you've got that sort of restless ambition, you're never going to get there.
Right, let's talk about a bit of racing, Harry. Adonis Hurdle coming up at the weekend. One Horse Town is a classic example of your work in some ways, has been really consistent, tough, brings it to the table. On paper, you've got a reasonable chance of hitting the frame and a pretty good chance of winning.
I think that's right, Matt. Yeah, we've ummed and ahed about the Adonis. I mean, he, as you rightly say, he's done really well this season. I think he's won 85 grand for his owners so far this season over hurdles. If he was 16-2 and look like a horse that could be chasing in a couple of years' time, I'd be minding him more than I am. But he's probably 15-1, stood on a hill. He's slender. He's by a miler. I don't see that next season he's going to get any better. I think he is very much a horse for now. And he just, for whatever reason, seems to be thriving. He's in great nick. It's 2 weeks and 6 days before the Triumph. And, ultimately, it's a £80,000 grade 2 that you're second favourite for. That for his owners and for me is a big deal. And he schooled well this morning. I just need to speak to John Gregory, who runs that syndicate there later. But I'm thinking he's in great form. Let's go and have a go.
Yeah,
definitely.
If whatever happens, will he run in the Triumph?
It will, Matt. Yeah, because I didn't even put him in the Fred Winter because our view was he's probably a top 6 prospect in either race. But we have obviously got no secrets from the handicapper. He has been really, we've just been trying to progress him all season. And I think probably what would happen the handicap is that he'd probably run his race and be beaten by some well-handicapped horses. If he finishes 6th in the Triumph, well, fantastic. He started at Hexham. He's running the Triumph, brilliant. If he finished 6th in a Fred Winter and got knocked over by 2 that finished 4th and 3rd, that would probably annoy me. So, as long as he's okay, he'll go Saturday and then he'll go on to the Triumph.
Yeah, Precious Man will be the one to beat there, of course, for your old buddy, Paddy, Dan Skelton.
It will be for sure, but I'm looking at it and thinking they've had one race against each other and One Horse Town beat him. Now, Precious Man pulled hard that day, and he had to give us £5. But One Horse Town won well that day, and whilst I'm certainly not bullish, I'm certainly looking at it thinking, well, we have a very legitimate chance of beating him again. They're off level weights, and I'm sure Precious Man's a real nice horse, trained by a brilliant trainer. But I think we can go there and mix it with him for sure.
100%. If you want to back him, incidentally, for the Triumph hurdle, our associated sponsors, BoyleSports, we'll push him out to 51. We'll give you 50s. He's generally 40-1, One Horse Town right now. If he wins the Adonis, he'll shorten up. If he runs well, he'll probably just stay around 40. So if he did just fancy a little tickle each way, 50-1 with BoyleSports for the Triumph hurdle. Let's see what else we've got at Kempton. You've got another possible big runner there in Jasmine Bliss.
Yeah, Jasmine Bliss, the plan is to go. She won the Lady Protectress the other day at Huntingdon, which was a huge result for her and her syndicate because, black type for these mares is a big deal, and she jumped really well. I think chasing has improved her. So we said after that day, if she was okay, why didn't we roll the dice and run her in the Pendle? And I think she's right in there with a chance. She's got a £5 penalty for winning that listed race, which obviously makes life a bit more difficult. But she loves jumping fences. She's on a bit of a roll at the moment, and look, she obviously will have to keep progressing to win a Grade 2, but there's no reason to think she can't. I mean, she ran really well there on Boxing Day. She was good at Huntingdon the other day, and she's just in good form. So we're going to go and roll the dice and have a go.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to be on track. I was there when she finished 2nd at Lingfield one day. She's a nice sort, Jasmine. Paddy, Precious Man, would you agree? And the Adonis will take the beating if he settles.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it will be tactics as well. Paul O'Brien will be thinking, what pace he wants to go for Harry Skelton to try and make sure he's a little bit keen. But Harry, you've every right to be running, and you've got a chance, definitely.
And in the Jasmine Bliss race, Jacks Jr. will probably be short price favourite. Second run after a wind operation. I mean, he's a nice horse to look at, Jacks Jr. He's quite beasty, and if his wind has just been now sorted out, he's always promised quite a lot.
Jacks Jr. was, great training performance to get him back. They said he had a bleed the time before he won, Matt, but it was a very, very good performance around Sandown. But yeah, Jasmine Bliss, Harry's runner. Philly, look, it's interesting she's got the £5 penalty because she would have had a £7 mare's allowance. But you got to run. She jumps great. But yeah, look, Jacks Jr. will be probably hard to beat.
Does Paul tell you what he'll run in races like this, Harry? Do you know whether he's running sort of Blue King Daru
I'd never ask, Matt.
No.
I'd never ask. We've got another nice runner on Saturday as well called Club de Rev at the Dovecote as well, which I'm looking forward to. He won there on Boxing Day in the maiden hurdle, won well there. He's just been progressive all the way along. We've been really pleased with him. And he, when he won on Boxing Day, we said, right, let's go and give the Dovecote a good crack. He obviously performed well around the course, and I think he's improving all the time, and I'm looking forward to running him. He's a nice horse.
Yeah, I mean, he's actually still in the Supreme Novice Hurdle, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He is.
Yeah, he was impressive there the last day, Harry, definitely.
Tell me about Mossy Fen Road. We were at Chepstow together when he won, and I kind of did wet myself a little bit about Mossy Fen Road. I just thought there was so much about him I loved that day, but he didn't follow it up last time when he was second at Musselburgh. What went wrong there?
I think one just ran faster than him.
They went too fast, didn't they? They just went too fast.
Yeah, I think we probably did. I'll be honest, Matt. I probably got a bit too clever for my own good. After Chepstow, I wanted to run again, and we were thinking Exeter for that listed novice hurdle, and then of course the ground looked awful there, and so we thought, why didn't we run in the week before? We'd get the run in then, and I don't think Musselburgh is his track. The ground went a bit dry for him through no fault of anyone's. Certainly not Musselburgh's. They provided nice ground, but I think it went a bit dry for him, and we got sucked into probably thinking we needed to make the run in, and it was just one of those moments that after a mile, Paul wished he had it back. I wished he had it back. It was one of those days. Ultimately, these horses get beat at some stage, and he did. It won't have done him any harm. Another run under his belt, I think, was good. I wanted him to have 3 runs going into Cheltenham. And that Chepstow performance showed that he's a very, very capable horse. So where all systems go for the Supreme, I personally feel that he's going to be as good a chaser as I've had in my short career so far anyway, because he is a good horse, and whether he's quite up to winning the Supreme, I have my doubts, but I think he's well worth running in it because he's more than good enough, and all season long I've thought he was a Supreme horse. So he's going for that, and he's a horse I've always thought a lot of. It was disappointing to get beat at Musselburgh, but it happens, and we're just going to carry on with our plan.
What's happening with Jackie Hobbs? Ryanair Mares Novices Hurdle?
Yeah, she'll run. She's obviously done pretty well this season. Was just caught out at Haydock. We felt she never quite got in the rhythm around the track. I don't know. Maybe she just wasn't quite good enough on the day. But her owners are really keen to run the Dawn Run, so she's going to go and have a go.
And the other one I wanted to say is Brentford Hope. Would he go in the county?
He probably will, Matt. He's going to run next Saturday at Newbury. I wanted to run at the Taunton the other day, and he got pus in his foot the day before, which is not unlike him. He's a bit of a delicate little flower, is Brentford. But so we'll probably run next Saturday at Newbury, and then could well go to the county if he runs well. He's just been, from when we started, you're obviously you're competing in 0-100s and 0-110s and class 4s and things, and Brentford got us in those bigger races early on in our careers, and he's been a star for us, really.
Paddy, we'll go have a look at the handicap chase once we let Harry go, but away from that, Harry, obviously we try and find out a little bit more about our guests whenever we can. Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes people are so odd that they just don't want to share stuff about them. Eating with you. I'm told that when you used to ride out, and this will surprise anyone who's staying with Paul Nicholls, this will become a surprise, but apparently you wouldn't eat anything. Like I was a really, really fussy child, yeah. I as you can see from the size of my face now, I've recovered from that quite well. But I don't know why. I must have done my parents, well, I probably still do that now, to be fair, but I just was a really, really fussy child. I look back, I don't really know why, to be honest. But I was a skinny little thing when I was younger, but as you can see, I've recovered quite well from that now. I've got a big head on me like a beach ball, so. Apparently if anyone's buying you anything for Christmas, a multi-pack of Twiglets was the way to go. Apparently all you used to eat was Twiglets.
Yeah, I'm still partial to the Twiglet, to be honest. Yeah.
So, is there a dark horse in the yard that you want to tell the world about? Just a good one, Harry. Just a winner.
Just a winner?
Just something that's going to win.
Yeah.
Train, what do you train? 50, 70, 100 horses?
There's
a horse called Il Est Francais who won at Chepstow. He got a little in the autumn. He got a little setback after that. He's back in full work now. I think he's an absolutely lovely horse, and he might not be out for a month or so yet, but he is a horse well worth following. He's a properly nice horse. Like him a lot.
Perfect. Thank you so much. On the back of this show, whatever happens now, for the rest of your career, people are going to ask you to do the Nichols impression. Yeah. Every interview from now on Sky Sports, I'm going to be saying, Harry, can you give us a bit of Paul Nichols, please? And you can either get it out your system now or get everyone to ask you for the rest of your career. It's up to you. Final chance. When I next see you at the races, Matt, I'll give a bit of Paul. Okay, that's great. Just don't wear those soft gloves. Harry, it's been a pleasure. Glad everything going well. You are a very determined young man, and I suspect you are very much just in the fledgling stages of what you're going to achieve as a trainer. So keep up the good work. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much,
guys. Cheers.
Really appreciate it, top man.
He's bottled that, hasn't he? He's bottled it.
I would have liked to hear
it
of Nicky and Paul.
He's bottled it. Do you reckon he'd have said, I want another burger? So that would be the...
Who?
Nichols.
He doesn't like burgers.
How do you know that?
Because I worked for him and bought his bacon sandwiches.
Does he like bacon sandwiches? Okay. Right, I just want to have a quick word about the Kempton 335.
Lovely race, Matt. Was lucky to win this a few times.
The Ladbrokes Trophy Handicap Chase.
Was lucky. I love this race.
Who did you win it on?
Razor Royal, Nakarat.
Oh, we've spoken about that.
Maybe one other. Taylor Guide. He was the easiest winner. He bowled.
For Tizard.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the old bluey with the old pink star.
Yeah, Bishops, yeah.
Cue card colours.
That's right.
Yeah. What happened to cue card?
Yeah.
Good horse he'd have been if he just got over that hurdle fence.
But Matt, this is, yeah.
Okay, so Katati Dory, Hojali Smoke. I'm not sure does Hojali Go Smoke got the pace for Kempton?
Yeah, I did question that. And the ground is, it's obviously soft at the minute, but it's been dry the last couple of days. He would want... If there's any rain, he could do it definitely around there, Matt.
The Doyen Chief, Tom Bellamy and Alan King has good form at the track. I'm not sure about him in a race like this. Not sure he's
good enough, Matt.
No, nor am I. And what about Deep Cave for Christian Williams? Got beat last time.
Deep Cave, Matt's won a big handicap at Ascot. It's very, very hard to win too. That would be my only concern with him. But look, it's an open race, and as we go through it, something has to win it. But I would go with Sam Thomas and Dylan Johnson, Cat Dory.
Have we got time to give Christian a quick call? Let's hope we have. Let's just see. I'm quite interested in Deep Cave. Let's see if he's going to go. The old grizzly bear. You can't do without a bit of grizzly. He'd be in the sea, won't he? He'd be in the sea. You're live on the podcast, Christian. Unbridled. We're recording right now, and you're live. Are you Are you on a horse in the Welsh Sea?
No, I'm in the barn.
In the barn?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Most of the work's done.
Whenever I think of a trainer in a barn, I always think of naughty things going on. But anyway, that's another story.
That is absolutely another story.
No, is it? I've read too many Dick Francis books, you see. Christian, we're just having a look at this Ladbrokes handicap at the weekend, and obviously got Deep Cave in there, who's been in pretty good form this season. Are you all systems go?
Yeah, he's in good form. Just put a line through his last run. The Sue Smith horse pulled up behind us and won since, and the horse that looked like was going to win of Dan Skelton's ended up pulling up. So hopefully it's just a race that just didn't work out for us from the start. So hopefully we can get back on track on Saturday.
And I think you are one of the best big money target trainers. Is this a race you've had in your mind for a little while, or is this off the cuff?
This off the cuff, really. We hope we go to Doncaster. Hoping to go to Doncaster and win, and then qualify for the Grand National. So these races then just come at you thick and fast. And we've won this race before. We're lucky to train a horse for Ladbrokes and Coral. We got a horse in the yard for them, and it's great prize money and a wonderful track. Great day out.
Christian, it's always lovely to speak to you. Have fun in the barn.
Cheers, gang. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
So Deep Cave is going. Forget about the last run. He wouldn't be the worst 9-10 to 1 shot ever. Right, that's it then. Don't forget the new BoyleSports offer for Cheltenham. Bet £10, get £40 in free bets and bank the Builder jackpot, plus up to £60 in free bets. Free bets, I should say. Competition time for your chance to win an Unbridled travel mug, which we've stroked and felt. Comment your Cheltenham Festival Lucky 15 in the YouTube comments below, and we would choose which one is the best next week. I don't actually remember ever doing the competition earlier, but I'm sure I did. Cheltenham Festival Lucky 15 in the YouTube comments below, and we will choose which one is the best next week. Enjoyed that?
Yeah, it was good, man. I did.
Michael Buckley. I have serious words with him in a moment. Made my heart jump a beat.
He did.
Yeah.
All is good.
Yeah. Anyway, this was Unbridled. And I hope you'll be back to join us next week. Have you organised a special guest for next week? Have you actually called that? Because usually you organise one and then they pull out the day before.
No, I've organised one.
Okay. We apparently have got a special guest next week, organised by Patrick Brennan. Thanks for listening and watching and whatever you've done with the show.